Good evening, explorers. It's been a while, and I apologize for that. It's been a hot minute since I've had an opportunity to get a video edited all together and get it uploaded, so I apologize for that. Basically, life's just been happening. It's unfortunately just a fact of life that sometimes you get busy. Some things you gotta do, and one of the big things I gotta do around my life is winterizing my house for winter, because I live in a very cold part of the world, and winterizing a house takes a lot of work. So, yeah, it takes a lot of my time. So, I will get the Into the Radius 1.0 videos they'll get back to it soon. I hope. I have a few other mini documentaries kind of in the works, and I'm not sure which one to do next, but I've got a couple ideas. But I figured, since I haven't posted anything in quite a little while, and it may be a few more weeks before I can get an official video out again, I figured, hey, why not just do a candid little video of my thoughts Into the Radius 2, how the development's going, and what I hope to get, what I hope to see in the future, as well as my likes and dislikes. Obviously, I have to explain that this video is being recorded at the time. Oh, hey, helicopter. Helicopter. Anyway, I feel like it is very important that I bring up the fact that, yes, this is still early access. Things are subject to change. Things are going to change. A lot of things are going to change. For the good? For the better? I hope. Yeah. And everything I say here is just my own personal opinion. I don't speak for any company. I don't speak for any other group. I'm just one guy. I'm one explorer that likes to go out into the radius, look around, see how things are going, and share my opinions. Maybe my own words will impact the developers of the game enough to make a change, or I don't know. Maybe someone will listen to me. Or not. Maybe you guys will. I don't know. So, one of the biggest changes from Into the Radius 1 and Into the Radius 2, which I think I'll just refer to as ITR 1 and ITR 2, is definitely the art. I feel like there's two different art styles that have changed. One of them is technology. Very much looks... Into the Radius 1 was definitely... is from the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s. You could tell it was old technology and it was meant to feel old and like you're in an old world. Into the Radius 2 feels more modern. It definitely has more of a modern aesthetic, and I know why they did that. I know why the developers decided to go with the more modern aesthetic of the game. It's more or less just to give more life, more growth into the game itself, into the story. I think they're making it look pretty good. Like, even just the uniforms that the explorers get to wear now is pretty sick, and honestly something I would honestly wear out into the zone for real if I had to, be stuck out living this hellhole. But even like that first aid box, that's pretty modern. The mugs, even, they're modern. Everything here just feels more modern. Even with the scuff marks that they've added in, the wear and tear on the floors, yeah, it still feels modern and newish, but still well used, and I appreciate that. It shows that they're putting a lot of thought into, like, where would the Radius, or where would the UNPSC go in terms of growth? Where would they go in terms of expanding their control over the Radius, and how would they expand their research and development? And this is obviously one of the big things, is just they would upgrade the UNPSC facility and give the explorers a proper base that they can actually work with, instead of just shipping containers, which I'll be honest, there's gonna be a little documentary about why Into the Radius 1 uses shipping containers and why Into the Radius 2 has a proper facility. There is a reason for that in the lore. Spoiler alert. It's literally just Into the Radius's location 1 was... You know what? Scratch that. I'm not going to say it. I'll have a spoiler for the video. There we go. Okay. Turn off the aggressively smooth jazz. Yeah, all the weapons that they have here, modern or modern equivalent of weaponry, which is pretty sick. I am all for this. We have so many more attachments to play with, modern weapons. I still have yet to try this thing. This looks so good. And even even older classics have slightly newer variants, which make them look pretty good. I am excited to try these. Customizable gear. Obviously, yeah, like, let's face it, people who play this game, they're a bit tactical. They like tactical things. They like to be tactical. So obviously, these are all things that we've already seen. Yeah, everybody else has talked about these things. YouTubers have talked about these things. People on Reddit, on X have talked about these things. This is huge. This is fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, this is the peak of VR gaming right now. And I'd say that with the utmost sincerity. I say that respectably. What would it change about the weaponry system or anything like that? I'll be honest, there's not a ton I think I would change in regards to like customizations, things like that. Oh no, wait, there is one thing I would change. Okay, here's a critique from Plenty of Nothing. This is awesome. Absolutely fantastic. The armor, helmets, vests, pouches, all that, fantastic. Next step, I want to be able to customize my base character so that when I'm playing with friends, these little it's hard to see with my face, we just have little tape wrapped around our arms and I think our legs. Oh yeah, there we go. Little patch of, holy crap, little patch of tape wrapped around the leg to identify who's who. I would like to be able to see basically just change my outfit, like change my suit from green to black, or maybe have a different hat on, or different face mask, different style of goggles or glasses, even different gloves. I think would be pretty sweet. These are nice gloves though, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, just little things like that. Just cosmetic things on the player's suit, the player avatar. I think if we could do that, that would just make it a lot easier, at least for me, when I'm playing with a group of 2, 3, or 4 players. It would be a little easier to kind of just determine who is who. Plus, I might like it for a different reason, but we'll get into that another day. So, with that, there's also the issue of the lore. Yes, the lore is pretty big, and obviously can't get into much of the lore at this point in time because of obvious reasons, that the lore has not been implemented into the game yet. At least not to a degree that... There we go. Not to a degree that Into the Radius 1 had. Because we're just not ready for it. That's the simple fact is, we're not quite ready for Into the Radius 2's full lore. There's a lot more world building that has to be done, a lot more creative works. Oops. And you know what? That's totally okay. That developers have a lot of work to do before they can really start working on the story and adding the story elements. That's all coming in later. But I will say that the lore elements that we have right now, pretty sweet. Pretty nice. And I'm going to jump into the Radius here in a second. Just going to grab some more ammo. But like everything here, just the storytelling elements of the brand new facility, the laboratory, which I'm very excited to have open up to us, whatever's down there, if anything at all. I don't know if I think there's plans that was supposed to be the shooting range. I don't know if that's still going to be the shooting range, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, I think I got everything I need. Jump out into the Radius, go do my mission. I'm actually doing the portal mission at the moment, so I don't know if you guys are hiding any spoilers, but I guess you're watching this, so you're gonna watch it anyway, so deal with it. What's up, buddy? Yeah, as regarding to the lore of everything, dang, this place looks so good. I love it. It's so thick, so rich. Anyway, yeah, regarding the lore, there's definitely lore. There's already lore going on here. There's definitely story elements being added in. just environmental storytelling, not official story or campaign, I should say. It's definitely, it's got a lot of work to do before we're ready for the story. But there is definitely lots of stuff that have been added in regarding, like, stashes, the safe houses, everything in that aspect. There's a lot here that, there's a lot here that we can work with to kind of learn the story of Into the Radius 1 and how it transitions into Radius 2. So yeah, that's something that's going to be touched on in great detail in the near future. You know. And regarding, I should probably use that opportunity to talk about where my videos are going to kind of touch onto that. So once Radius 2, this game comes out into a 1.0 version, I will be jumping into it as I did with Into the Radius 1 and how I'm doing right now with 1.0. I'm going to play it like I have as the story progresses. I'm going to play through the story, and you're just going to basically watch me play the game and research everything as I go along. It's going to be just candid me going out there, playing the game. No script, just jumping in, having fun, and maybe get a little more cinematic when I have an opportunity to be. That's a goal I have, is I want to try and get a little more cinematic. It's going to be a little tricky, but I think I can do it. Another thing is, though, once I'm working through that, I'm going to be doing mini documentaries like my Radius videos on time and anomalies. Yeah, so I hope you guys watch those. Now, missions, see, this is where it's going to get a little more negative, because I'm not totally a fan of how the missions are at the moment. Specifically, the side missions, or not top priority missions. I can't really call them all side missions, because it's not really any side missions. They're all important missions to the Radius, or to the UNPSC. I'll take that. All the missions are important to the UNPSC, it's just some are more important than others. But, excuse me for a second, yeah? Oh, neat. I'm in here now. So, at least from what I've seen in the betas and the early access version, the top priority missions are pretty sweet. I won't lie, they're pretty darn fun. I've got a lot of enjoyment out of just running through the early access and trying out different top priority missions. They're a lot of fun. But unfortunately, there is one common theme to all of them, and it's simply run into location, get item, bring item back. And to be fair, there's not too much you can do to this without getting really sidetracked. I'll say that. You'd be super sidetracked if you went too far into getting really creative with missions. The majority of missions is simply just explore, grab item, find item, bring it back to base. But I think there is a way to kind of fix that. I can't say fix, but there's a way to kind of counteract that. And that's basically, instead of missions where you go in and take stuff, it's where you go in and bring stuff. And it's like, in this mission, I have to go pick up a sensor that I left in the Radius earlier. So all these sensor missions that we have to go in and collect, I would actually like to see us going into the Radius and dropping them off first. We're gonna run for this. I live. Missions that involve going into the Radius and getting an item back out. Artifacts, that makes sense. I would like to see that for just going in and getting things out. Lots of artifacts. Give me lots of artifacts to go collect. But when it comes to scientific equipment, like the sensors, the containers, things like that, why don't we have the ability to go into the Radius first to drop them off so they can collect the samples automatically, like an automated sensor system? I need to make sure I'm going the right way. Yeah, I'm going to go that way. But then we go in and we drop everything off, and then we have to wait for the tide to go through. And after the tide is complete, then we go back out and collect the sample containers or the sensors. Or maybe the maintenance. I really wish I had more finger functions. That's something else I want to change. I'll talk about that later. So I want more finger functions to be like pointing and bunny quotes. But give me more scientific duties instead of just going in, getting item, and bringing it back. There's a lot more I feel like you can do as explorers for the UNPSC. And that includes things like, yeah, like the sensors, the sample containers. Can I get through here? I don't think so. But I'd also like to be able to see, like, the paparazzi missions come back. Especially now that I can actually identify what mimic is what. I feel like that would be quite handy. But also let's see us getting some pictures of the anomalies. Why not? Missions, give me more responsibility with the UNPSC. I think I feel like that would be a lot of fun to do, both on a story perspective, having explorers have more responsibility, and just having more varieties in the types of missions that we have to do. I'm getting to that. Hold on. Bricks. Oh, this feels like a Saving Private Ryan moment. I don't know where he is. Whoa! Okay, now I know where he is. I saw the shot. Gonna have to Conroy chickens! Oh! No! Okay, that was a mistake. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, maps. I was kind of hoping we could see more maps in the plural sense, not just like the big maps that we do have. But I mean, the maps we do have are pretty dang fantastic. No denying that. They are brilliant maps, and they have exceeded well beyond my expectations. And even all of this is pretty sick, not gonna lie. I like this. This little graveyard now, very nice. That's a nice little addition. And it all helps with the whole world building thing. I was hoping for a few more maps. Maybe like one more, maybe two more smaller maps with the addition of the finale map. I've never been here before, so better be safe. Ooh, okay, so I know this will come eventually, but I want the artifacts to have special abilities. I have a feeling, a strong feeling, and it's only a feeling, I think the laboratory is the place that's going to help us unlock the potential of the artifacts. Yeah. So, I would like to see some more variety in the types of artifacts that we get to play with. Like the night vision, I'd like to see that return. I would like to see the healing artifacts, the regen, obviously. And a couple other things, like the modding community came up with some really fun ideas. There was one artifact that they came up with that basically lightened your backpack, which I thought was a great idea. That is a really clever use of an artifact. Just making your backpack a little lighter. I'd like to see more stuff like that. Maybe an artifact that can reveal other artifacts, like an artifact detector, but I guess it's the whole point of the detector. But you get what I mean. I like to see just more variety in the abilities of artifacts. And honestly, yeah, I'm pretty sure the developers are already working on that. But that'll come up later, I'm sure. How long is it going to be before I find some medicine? Now, something else that I think would be really handy to have added in later, obviously, probably well after 1.0 comes out, is a handheld camera. And I mean that in the aspect of me as an explorer being able to go in with a camera and hold it in my hands and use that to kind of record myself. What the Sam Hill is this? Old toy gun. That is adorable. That is absolutely adorable. I love that. Oh, it's too much. My bag. Oh, it doesn't fit at all. That is a shame. Nope, that's it. That's all I can carry. Shoot. Well, I'm taking you with me anyway. But yeah, thank you for hearing my ramblings briefly while I wait for myself to have more opportunities to edit my videos. More Into the Radius 1.0 will be coming very soon. I have the next 3 episodes recorded. I just need to get the voiceover done and get the script. Okay, sheesh. In order, it's filming, that's done. Script work, that's next. Voiceover, that's after that. And then editing it all together. I do not like that word, editing. How am I gonna put you in a bag? What you in here? You're... Well, nuts. I gotta put one of you down. Put the toy gun down. And now this. Oh wait, there's a gun right here too? What are you? That's a part of a bison right there? Oh wait, I bet I put that there. I can't put it here. Darn it. I'm still waiting on this thing. 1 of 5. Fine. Oh yeah, there is one little tiny thing I have complained about, and this is actually a great opportunity to point this out. If I have 2 items in my hand, specifically 2 guns, which happens more often than I think, I cannot click or select the facility button. I have to drop something and come back for it, which is a little annoying. And then I have to drop this off and go back to the other thing. So if I have an ability to select where I want to go just from the map, or bring back the rope system of different ropes to go to different places, I think that would also help with the immersion quite a bit. I wouldn't solve that problem, I don't think, but I think that would be a great addition to kind of help out with that. Okay, time to get myself healed up. This heartbeat's driving me nuts. Okay, it's better. I can hear myself think again. Yeah, I'd like to see the ability to go from location to location without having to select on a menu. Just walk into the fog at the specific rope location. I know that will get rid of Mr. Joel and Regis there, but I don't think it would hurt. I don't think it would be a bad idea. But this is my opinion. Anyway, thank you for hearing me ramble on for a few minutes about Into the Radius 2. I am loving this game so far. I really, really am. It is so much fun for me. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures, and this is definitely one of them. I'm loving this. Yeah, I do have some ideas for missions, but I don't think I'll go into it here, because honestly, I'm not in charge of anything like the writing or anything like that. Most everything we're just gonna go. But developers, if you are watching this, and the small chance that you are, I do have some ideas for story-based missions, or even side missions, or even side quests. I have some ideas for that. So if you guys are watching, I would love to share my ideas with you, and we can swap some ideas. If you want to hear them and take them, great. If you want to hear them and be like, this guy's absolutely insane, let's never talk to this guy ever again, and make sure he has a restraining order, that's okay too. Anyway, it's been fun. Into the Radius 1.0 will continue on very soon, as well as some of the mini documentaries. They will be coming out soon as well. And yeah, other than that, it's been fun. I don't know how to end this so long.